course, I'm going to go jump on back to that yard analogy that inspired me tonight to talk about a new beginning, because we're here in this fall season. What it made me think about, in a fresh start, we talk about cleaning the land. So when you go out cleaning the land, it's after everything has fallen. And sometimes that's what happens in our life. After everything has fallen apart, after everything has crumbled down, and that's the leaves on the trees have fallen. Sometimes the straw, the leaves, the yard looks a hot mess, even though my daddy never let us get to the hotness yard looking. But the thing is, you go out there with different types of rakes. You have a rake to pull up the weeds. You have a rake to remove the straw. You have a rake to get up the leaves. But the thing is, you remove them out of the yard so that you can uncover the freshness and the newness that's underneath. It's some new growth occurring. No matter what causes the hurt, the pain, there's some new growth up under it. But we get so comfortable with the old and the debris laying on top of us, we become so weighed down and we don't find our new land and we don't find our ability to get a fresh start. And that talks about in our relationships when we don't want to give forgiveness. We don't want to let go of past hurt. And it says love is not something that keeps up with wrongs. Love is not something that keeps up with hurt. Love is not something that tries to be right. But the thing is, we actually put in that as an emotion, and we keep all of that baggage, and we don't remove the leaves, we don't remove the weeds, we don't clear off the land so we can have a fresh start in our relationships. And today, on the 1/1/11, on the first day of November, take an opportunity to get a fresh start in your relationship. Don't get so caught up in the old things, in the old habits, in the old traditions. Allow yourself to be open to a fresh start in your relationship. Whether it needs to be a fresh start with God because you feel like he's hurt you, he's abandoned you, he took something away from you that you held near and dear. Opportunity to have a fresh start with you. And when you allow that and open up your heart to that fresh start, your relationship will be bountiful and it will grow. So what it made me think about in the fall season, you know how y'all might not be country like that. It might not have done that. Actually burn the yard. You actually burn the yard because it goes deep down and it purifies it. It actually enriches the soil when you actually do a yard burning. And sometimes that's what you have to do in your relationships. And a burning hurts. A burning hurts because it's going to pull off that first layer of skin. And sometimes God takes away the person that's closest to us, and it's a burning because he's pulling away something that we've allowed to cover and protect us. And sometimes we've allowed that person to even get in a place where God should be, and we have to be aware of that because God has something else for us. He has a purpose, he has a destiny, he has something that he wants to grow within us. So sometimes he burns your land. Sometimes he removes the very thing that you think he put in there. But he put it there for a season. But you began to cherish it too long. You began to hold on to it long. And I'm going to give you all an example of that. I did lose my husband, and that was a season I went through. So when I lost him, I felt like God, of course, had done me wrong. But when you look back, it was a burning. He peeled back a layer of my skin. And if y'all have ever been burnt, and I mean just a little bitty burn, it causes like an irritation. And until you pull that skin off and pull it back and actually nurture that wound and take the time to let it heal, and when you do that, you have a fresh start. That skin comes back. It is brand new and fresh. And what God never does, he never burns us all the way till our skin does not renew. He allows us that room to have renewal. He allows us that room to have a freshness. So I'm speaking to everybody out there who has any type of hurt that you feel like your land has been burnt. But the thing is, he's enriching the soil in your life. So allow him to enrich the soil and let go of the weeds, let go of the leaves, let go of the previous harvest and the good things that you call yourself having, because I promise you, and this is a promise because it's a promise from God, not from me. It's a promise from God that your later should be greater. And the thing is, when you believe that, that is how you can step over into your start over, your do-over, your fresh start in your life. And that is let those past go away. And that's what the scripture says in 2 Corinthians 5:17. Let your past go away. And behold that the new has come. It's a new now. It's something that you have to get adjusted to. It's something you have to redo. And that is what happens when new things get planted in the ground. You have to learn how to nurture them in a new way. You have to learn how to take care of them in a new way. And sometimes it's learning how to nurture and just take care of yourself in a new way. So it's a cleaning of the land. It's a burning. It's a purging in this season to have a fresh start. So wherever you are in your relationship, have that new fresh start every day so that your land is not getting full of debris. So it's not being weighed down by things that are not a part of what it is that you want in your relationship. So I need you to be open-minded. I need you all to be open. And so I am speaking to you all who need to let go and actually start something new today. Read that scripture, marinate on it. And if you need to speak to me about different things, you can always reach me at the relationship service station, or you can meet me here always on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. where we're talking about relationships. So remember, there is nothing that you cannot talk about in your relationship, but you need to allow yourself to have a fresh start. And I thought it was very appropriate. Yes, it's our last song, but I'm going to come back to you all this evening because we have something very special. So don't click off. The song is Martha Menunez, and it's called New Season. And I'm going to say again, don't click off, because we have something special to talk about with our listeners this evening of how we appreciate you. And we're going into Martha Menunez, New Season. That was a tongue twister.